What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about NIO and how they recently had to shut down production of all of their vehicles. So we're going to go over exactly what that means for NIO going forward, and we're going to analyze a catalyst that NIO has coming up in its near future that could send the share price of NIO going much higher after this catalyst happens. So before we get into all of that information, if you guys would like to earn 2 free stocks with Webull, which is the brokerage that you guys see on screen in all of my videos, these free stocks are valued up to $1,850, and it's a great way to help and support the channel because when you guys sign up and deposit, I also get a free stock. And if you guys enjoy the information that I provide for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps me out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people as possible. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I am trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. So looking at the chart of NIO, we can see that today, after this news has come out, the stock is down another 7.5%. Now, we did see a bounce in yesterday's trading period, but that did not last as this news is pretty substantial, and a lot of investors don't really like to see that this car company has to shut down their production due to the worldwide semiconductor shortage. Now, since this news about NIO is really sending the share price lower today, we need to talk about long-term investors and what you guys should be doing with your positions. Now, nothing I say in these videos is financial advice. These are for educational and entertainment purposes only, but if you have confidence and conviction and have also done your research on NIO or any of the other companies that we talk about on this channel, and you are really confident in your decision to invest, then I don't think there's any reason to really freak out about these short-term dips that we are seeing over the past couple weeks in these stocks. Now, we are really seeing something very interesting happen in the market right now. When the 10-year treasury yield was going up, a lot of the sell-off in tech, in my opinion, was due to the algorithms. It's not like we saw giant fund managers all of a sudden come out and say, well, companies that have super high growth potential in the future are no longer good companies because this yield is going up. That's not really what happened. It's more of the algorithms that scan everything and are trading for all of these giant firms, saw that the 10-year treasury was going up, and essentially what happens is that they then go search in their portfolios for these super high PE stocks, and those are the companies that get sold first since they are so yield sensitive. So that is really what is going on here. But let's get into the news about NIO, the bad news that we have seen today. Now, this is the first piece of actual bad news that I have seen come out about NIO in about a month. So NIO announces temporary suspension of production for 5 working days. So we can see that NIO, a pioneer in China's premium smart electric vehicle market, today announces that the company decided to temporarily suspend the vehicle production activity in the JAC NIO manufacturing plant in Hefei for 5 working days starting from March 29th, 2021 due to the worldwide semiconductor shortage. Now, we've seen this semiconductor shortage affect a variety of different car companies, and it really was only a matter of time until this affected NIO as well. Now, with the United States planning on helping out with the semiconductor shortage and creating some legislation to help out with this, I don't think that the worldwide semiconductor shortage is going to last for very long, but we could see a short-term dip in NIO's production. Now, when we see down here, the overall supply constraint of semiconductors has impacted the company's production volume in March 2021. The company expects to deliver approximately 19,500 vehicles in the first quarter of 2021, adjusted from the previously released outlook of 20,000 to 20,500 vehicles. Now, even if NIO can deliver 19,500 vehicles, that is still a substantial increase from the numbers that we saw last year. So when we come over here, we can see that we are also going to be getting NIO's March delivery numbers over the next 2 weeks. So I think this is going to happen not next week, but the week after. And NIO, let's take a look at their delivery numbers for March. We can see that they delivered 1,533 vehicles in March 2020. Now, this number number is most likely going to be much higher than we saw in last March when we look at this March numbers. Now, when we come over here, we can take a look at NIO's actual projected delivery numbers. We can see that NIO delivered strong sales results in February 2021. The company expects to deliver 20,000 electric vehicles in the first quarter, which we now see is slightly lower than it was before. Now, we did see a slight decrease in the total vehicles sold in February, so we can see that 5,578 number, and the reason for this was Chinese New Year. So there was a lot less production going on in China. A lot of people kind of shut down their businesses when Chinese New Year occurs, and we were all expecting this decrease in the actual delivery numbers to occur, so it's not that big of a deal. Now, here's what's important about this 20,000 delivery number mark. So when we come back and see what NIO delivered in the full year for 2020, we can see that they delivered 43,728 vehicles in 2020. Now, they're projecting that they can do almost half of that number in the first quarter of 2021. Now, I've said this a lot before in my analyses videos on these electric vehicle companies, that the entire valuation of these companies isn't solely based on the amount of vehicles that they can deliver. A lot of it comes from the technology that they are going to be putting into these vehicles at the current time and the projected and potential technology that they have the ability to put into these vehicles in the future. Now, if we look at Tesla, Tesla is delivering vehicles and their valuation is at about over $1 million per car sold, which is absolutely insane. So when NIO comes out and significantly beats delivery numbers time and time again, this is a very good sign and could give it a massive boost in the classic valuation measures that different analysts use to evaluate companies. So that production shutdown for NIO is really the only piece of bad news that I've seen come out about NIO. We have potentially really great delivery numbers coming out within the next 2 weeks for March, and April is going to be a very key month for NIO. So it's going to be the start of the second quarter, and we are going to see NIO do a lot with their battery swapping model. So coming over here, we can see that NIO Power Beijing, a subsidiary of NIO, recently signed a 5-year agreement with the state-owned Beijing Shufa Industrial and Trading Co. to put battery swap stations along the Beijing Capital Ring Expressway. So this is big because NIO is really trying to get into this Beijing market before they start expanding to all of China. And once they expand into the European market, we could see them put these battery swapping stations up at a much larger scale than we previously thought. So in 2021, NIO has come out and said that they expect to have about 500 battery swapping stations out in the market being used by customers. Now, we've also seen that NIO is partnering up with Sinopec. Now, these deals and these partnerships are not confirmed as of yet. These are the Sinopec rumors, but NIO is really looking like they are going to be putting up their first battery swapping station in the middle of April at the Beijing Sinopec gas station. So Sinopec has about 30,000 gas stations in China. If NIO is able to get their battery swapping stations at just 5 to 10% of these stations, then NIO would be able to be putting out 1,500 to 3,000 battery swapping stations. Now, this could take some time, but with this deal that we are seeing with NIO and the potential massive deal with Sinopec, we could see NIO massively exceed the 500 battery swapping station expectation that they have given to us. And we can see that these battery swapping stations are super efficient and being used a lot by the NIO customers. So we can see NIO completed 2 million battery swaps. So on March 24th, NIO offered its 2 millionth battery swaps at the battery swapping station in this location, Suzhou. So sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but the startup had announced via its WeChat account. So the milestone indicates that every 10 seconds that there was a car departing from a NIO battery swapping station with its battery on full charge, said NIO. So all of this good news coming out about NIO, we did see that one piece of bad news, and it is a pretty significant piece of bad news come out about this company that is sending the share price lower. Now, there are some strategies that you can use to get some free shares of NIO if you have run out of cash to buy the dip. Now, I've gone over this strategy a couple of times in my other videos, but this is going to be selling covered calls. So this essentially enables you to create your own dividend by selling options to options buyers, but you do need to have 100 shares of NIO in order to do this. So one options contract controls 100 shares, and the best practices with selling covered calls is to always sell them above your average price. So if you do get your actual shares assigned, you are making a gain on your shares. So we can see that if we sold these $38 strike calls for next week, that we would be receiving about $84. So then you can go and reinvest this $84, $85 back into NIO shares. Now, you do have to be careful with selling covered calls on such volatile companies such as NIO, because the share price of NIO could go right back to 38 within the next week. We really don't know. And if that were to happen, your shares would get called away. Now, this is a good way to get some more money off of your shares, creating your own dividend by selling options, but this isn't going to be life-changing money. It is only a good way for you guys to lower your cost basis on your NIO shares if you guys would like to. So you can put this money back into NIO shares and get about 2 free shares for selling these covered calls. Now, coming back over to the chart of NIO, we can see that it is trading at the lows. So this is a good buying opportunity in my opinion. We can see the highs of NIO are in the $60 range. And I do think that NIO can get back to these ranges if the overall market kind of settles down and we see some more good news come out about NIO. So that is going to be it for this update on NIO. If you guys enjoyed the information that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I am trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. And if you guys would like those 2 free stocks with Webull, valued up to $1,850, make sure you check out that link in my description down below. So I hope you guys were able to have a really profitable day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.